Hello, everyone.
Why am I here again? What is going on?
But you don't want to be there? I thought it was like
I
a nice place
I didn't
to.
know. I didn't know
Sorry.
you did it.
I actually didn't know I did it either. I thought like I was gonna switch it, but anyways. Hi everyone. Welcome to an impromptu poor choices episode. We are not drunk. I am sorry. It's still pretty early tonight.
I haven't even done my Target walkthrough yet. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Well, she was supposed to go shopping, but that didn't happen.
Drama happens. Now we're gonna do round 2 of attempting to leave the house, and hopefully this works.
Yes. So there was some big news, and we were trying to do more videos. So it's us doing a video but live because
it was a very long, complicated process for us to make this decision.
We're like, should we go live and do this or not? It's easier if we do this versus a video. So yeah. Hi everyone. Hi Hokies, Phil, Martin, Bird up. Oh God, I don't know. I keep forgetting how to say it. Hervoye. And Mark, honey, stop swapping yourself for Tuggs. It makes it.
Hi, babe.
Don't get Mark confused. When he meets us, he's gonna be like, you're not Asian enough.
Honestly, don't look. Unless in case you couldn't tell, there's a huge color difference going on here.
At least today.
Entered winter, and I'm cold, and I don't want it anymore. I miss my 70-degree days.
Winter Tuggs is
white.
She's very pale. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay. You were darker than me for a long time, so
I know.
My turn. My turn.
I'm gonna go get a contract at body heat tanning just so I can keep up appearances.
Excuse me. Oh my God, that was a burp. Oh, that was a poor choice.
Well, it's not 70 anymore, Hokies. It's under 70, which I mean, it's still warm, but like we dropped down now to the 40s at night, and so by the time it hits 70, whatever again, it's like 6 o'clock and the sun's going down. So it's here we are.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we got some big news, some pretty big news. Last was a week ago. We found out, not a week ago. Oh my God.
No, it was just a few days ago. Katie did her 12 days of messy on Wednesday. We talked about it on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm, we did. And after her 12 days of messy, so whatever, she did the day one, Blake, never, ever going to get back together with him. Fine, whatever. I, want to be mean about it, which it's funny because their statement they put out together was, let's be kind to us.
And
to give
private.
Us private.
Respect our privacy.
Respect our privacy. So, Blake was respecting the privacy. I don't know about Katie. I don't know. And we'll hear it soon, but he feels, I think, disrespected from all her choices. Yeah. So, anyways, yesterday I was driving to work and I'm listening to my bachelorette podcast and I'm like, excuse me, he's talking about this. So I'm listening to Talking It Out, hosted by Brian, who's Rachel's husband, and Mike Johnson. And they had an interview with him, which at the time they recorded it last week before her announcement that she was with John. But then after
they had to go back.
They had to go back. Yes, B-Bean, we do have a little tea.
I think at this point, it's like sour milk at this point.
Really. Yeah. And I mean, really at this point, poor freaking Blake, because he was being so good. I mean, he's hurt, and I think he conducted himself so respectfully, even though he's been disrespected by, her poor choices. I'm not condoning this, by the way. We're not condoning this. So anyways, he goes on Talking It Out, part 2, and they literally just lay it all out there. Okay? So he says they did not tell him at all. He found out
when we did.
What?
Via Instagram, and actually he didn't even watch her Instagram. He was driving. He thought it was I was driving, and I had to pull over in the Best Buy parking lot because my phone was going bling 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 between my notifications, phone calls, my friends texting me. fans tagging me on Instagram and Twitter, all of this stuff. And he's like, what is going on? And he reads everything and it's like, Katie's dating John. Katie's dating John. And it's like,
can you like, it's like way worse that everyone knows. And I'm all about celebrating love. That's fine. But that is so soon. They broke up October 25th officially.
Yeah.
And then about 3 to 4 weeks later, they announced it. Not even.
They announced it, yeah, but how long they were together right then and there.
Yeah, and he didn't even say in the podcast, he's like, it's not like she knew at that point that they announced that they're together. She did the 12 days of messy.
She knew her day 12 was going to be this, and she and I said this on Wednesday stream. She chose that video on purpose, and he tells the guys, Mike and Brian, he tells the guys right there on the podcast. For those of you who were with us Wednesday, I was like, he's in that plane. Like we pulled up the photo and was like, you could see his tag and stuff. Yeah. And people were kind of like, well, maybe he wasn't actually there. And he was just tagged as like a thing. He flat out on this podcast was like, I was in the plane with them. And Mike is like,
excuse me, what?
Can you repeat that? And he was like, I was in the plane with them. Like I was there. So he chose her, or she chose that video on purpose, knowing that he would recognize it because he's going to get tagged. Of course, he's going to go watch it because we all should punish ourselves. Of course, he's going to go watch it and see what the heck is going on. And he's going to recognize that video. And you know what I mean? Like she knew exactly what she was doing. And to call him out as day one, not even throw him in the middle, just to like day one, we're never getting back together. We're starting with Blake. F you. Girl, this messy thing has gotten, even he was like, it's messy.
Yeah. And he's just like, I don't want to be part of this. Like I didn't choose to be part of this messiness. No, I'm linked to her and I don't want to hear about it anymore. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. Just I want them to go be together away from me because I need time for myself, which I'm like,
yeah. And he didn't like bash her or anything either. He did call her disrespectful for not like, hey, this is what I'm going to do for 12 days of messy. By the way, that guy I told you not to worry about, you actually needed to worry about him or whatever. And say, hey, John and I are dating. Like this is going to blow up, just so you know, like no heads up, no nothing. We found out that they broke up over FaceTime. She was supposed to come out there after her comedy. So Katie did like a comedy show tour.
Okay. One show.
Right. And she was supposed to fly up to Canada to go be with Blake. And she decided not to do that because things were weird between them. And she just didn't want to deal with it. And she didn't think that it was fair to go up there. And she wasn't really feeling it or whatever. This is when she knew. I'm going to tell you right now. And so instead she flies back home. And Blake is like, well, I could fly out to San Diego. You know, we can hang out. And and even Mike tells him flat out, like, Blake, you were trying to save this relationship. Like you were trying to save this. Like he does animal work, you know, conservation work. And he had put out a video, you know, that with turtles. And he told the guys on the podcast that he was saving that filming and that documentary or whatever that he was doing for when she got there, because she would love that. And she likes turtles and all that stuff. So he was trying to like to make this little effort. And she just was like, no, I'm just going to go home. I'm not going to fly up there. And so he was like, well, I'll fly down to San Diego and we can, you know, I'll come to you. And she's like, no, let's not do that either. And then the next day she FaceTimed him and broke up.
Can you imagine? Hi, Harley. Bye, Harley. I gotta let her out. One second.
She's like, open the door, Mom. You know, so they broke up over FaceTime. And now he does say that like there was like, yeah, he tried to make the effort to see if they could make it work, you know, a little bit more than she did, but he didn't draw his sword and like fight for it. They knew it was over. But FaceTime, he was like, I would have preferred to do it in person. Yeah. Like even if I flew down to San Diego and she smacked me in the face right there in the airport and said, we're over, you know, he would have preferred to do it in person. And he can't even figure out the timeline. He's trying to think like, and he completely trusted her. He was blindsided, you know, as we do. And he said that, you know, he's very confident that he doesn't think anything physical happened. It was just an emotional thing, you know, because they're long distance. So she was taking all of her, and Mike said this so well. I think it was Mike.
No, he did.
All of her emotional effort that should have been into their relationship and put it towards John instead of making the effort on a long distance relationship. And everybody knows that long distance relationships are the hardest because you aren't seeing each other in person. You have to really put forth extra effort. Otherwise it's going to go completely. And so she was taking the effort that she needed to do towards their relationship and putting it towards John, whether it was physical or not. It was an emotional thing, obviously. And
leaning on him emotionally. And he did say, he's like, I know I wasn't good at the words of affirmation. She needed words of affirmation. I was working on it. And I mean, they were together, 3 months in total since the engagement? 3 months seems like a quick time to give up.
Yeah. I mean, she was done. I don't know.
I don't know. So there is a good account on Instagram called Bachelor Data that has a pretty good timeline of Katie and John. So this is a 12 days of messy, which earlier I forgot who it was that was asking. Soul Assassin, 12 days of messy. So Katie Thurston wanted to do this 12 days of messy. She was like really sad. So this is her like, I'm just gonna let it all out there. It's kind of like an ode to Taylor Swift. She had all these, Taylor Swift. She has all these songs about so many different exes. And then on top of that, coincidentally, maybe, Hannah Brown's book, what was it called? Something with
God
mess.
Bless with mess. Yeah.
God blesses, like, it just seems so coincidental. Anyway, so every day was a different Taylor Swift song linked to another ex of hers from the show. And then obviously Blake's was first. And then this is John here. He's number 12, which, I don't know. So her season filmed mid-March, wrapped up late April. Okay. Her premiere June 7th. Then she's spotted hanging out with John. Funnily enough, at the very beginning, people actually thought John was the person she ended up with because people saw them together.
And Blake brought that up too. Blake, for this whole time, the whole podcast that Blake did with these two guys, he was like, there had been rumors for the longest time. And they were like, oh, she ends up with John. He goes, well, I obviously know that she didn't end up with John. She's with me, but I can't say anything because the show is airing, kind of thing. But there had been rumors and I forgot about that until he brought it back up again. I was like, what?
Oh, dang. Hi, Alex. Okay. So after the spotting, oops, wrong one. Well, skipped, wrong arrow. There we go. She's browsing for San Diego apartments. So this is, when I heard this, I was like, so her person's in San Diego? Like, why are you signing a new lease on an apartment? Like, is that a good idea? Or is this where she's going to settle? So I'm like, makes sense. But then spotted again on Instagram with John. And again, here, post picture with John. He's single and ready to mingle. I guess at that point, he already was like kicked off. Then here, the finale, August 9th. Okay. Then she begins her tour and then goes to Canada. This is probably when it started to go downhill, really.
Yeah. I remember when we all saw her going to Canada, we were like, so cute.
Oh my God. We were in Vegas. So I was like, oh,
yeah, we were in Vegas. Dang it. The one time you leave the country.
I know. They were doing such cheesy dates. Like, who goes to Tim Hortons for a date? I'm sorry. That's so weird.
I would love to do that because I'm not from there and I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Take me to all of your local things. That would be like him coming here and never being to Vegas before or America before. I take him to do all the things. We go to In-N-Out. Okay. We hit the strip and play tourist and get completely whack-faced. We get all the American McDonald's foods and not the I don't know. I mean, that's just, I get that. That doesn't even.
Yeah. Okay. And then I guess the important part, this is probably when the plane happened, the plane story. September 1st, where you saw John turn around because he's flying the plane. You can see him on day 12 of Messy. And Blake is right beside her. Anyway, so they go to New York and then they hang out again. And then he returns to Canada end of September. And then Katie hangs out with John and men from cast. I'm sorry, that's also kind of weird too. Post engagement, why are you hanging out with other guys? I don't know. It's there's this line, and when you're an engaged or married or even dating, hanging out with your exes is weird. That's weird. But maybe it's just a Bachelor Nation thing. I don't know. It's very an incestual pool of dating. Like everyone's hooked up with everyone.
It's true. It's so true.
And then they break up October 25th. And then we know the
That's
rest.
the official breakup. I wonder when the actual breakup was, though. It
It
had
was
to.
probably
When was
before.
her comedy tour?
Oh, I don't know.
I
don't know. I'm sorry. Katie probably isn't a great comic. I can't imagine, but it takes time. It takes a lot of time to be a good comic. Okay, so then, oh, I didn't know this. Okay, October 27th, post the picture of John's dog at the beach. So 2 days after, because she's hanging with her friend. Maybe this is when they find that romantic interest. I'm sure it was way before that, most likely. But this makes me feel so uneasy. She gets not romantic flowers from John on November 5th. And then Katie shares pic of the first time she saw John after filming. Like, oh, it's a lot of John. And then 12 days of messy begin, November 12th. That's crazy. So from October 25th, the breakup, to the beginning of 12 days of messy, November 12th, 2 weeks.
Yeah. And then so I just looked it up. Katie Thurston's show was October 23rd. And so Blake in the podcast said she was supposed to come to Canada, decided not to, and we broke up the next day. So the October 25th announcement, they had literally just broken up. So either it was on the 24th or the 25th, one of those 2 days. So she knew already. She just was stringling
Stringling him along.
They were already. Well, I don't know if they. I don't want to say they were already together, but my speculation is.
See, Martin says should be avoided, especially in a new relationship. I know it's called respect.
Yeah, or even just at all. If you break up with somebody, cut them out. Come back to them later if that's what happens. But
I think you really need to nurture, and this is my understanding. So a lot of new bachelor couples, the reason they don't last very long is you need to nurture that relationship. You know, you saw her date 30 people, invest a lot of time with different people, make out, maybe even like, you know, canoodle on their fantasy suite date. Like, you don't know. And then you have to work through that. It's really hard, especially when it's in your face. And not only that, he's competing against Michael A., who left her.
Yeah, she's the bachelorette that I'm almost positive she is the bachelorette with the most men that have ever left.
Yeah, Michael A. And then what? Greg? Oh, can you imagine?
The third one. What was the third one? I thought there was 3 of them.
There was that guy that left that. No, I forgot his name. That was kind of cute.
Andrew.
I will say that's cute. Yeah. So she kicked him, but then he left.
Yeah.
Anyways, well, at least her top 3, 2 of them left her.
That's a problem.
2.
I'd like to know the real story behind that because I don't believe Greg was a bad guy at all.
No. And like I have to give props to Blake, the fact that, and he did say, you know, how do you watch someone break up with her like that and be okay with it? How do you continue a relationship? And he tried. He really did. Yeah. You know, I would have been like, oh, no. You still have feelings for them. I can't handle this. I gotta go. So, hi, Jay. Special Saturday Live. Yep, this is a special. And then B-Bean, I saw you earlier here. Thanks for reporting this, but what are your personal opinions about what transpired here? Okay, so I feel so bad for Blake.
I feel awful for Blake. And I know I'm biased in this situation, but dang.
It doesn't matter what we know from each of them and how it transpired, whether it's all about optics. Like if I were to have a new relationship, I want to give them a little time to heal. Like his heart is still in pieces. And she has John to glue hers back together. But he's just there, brokenhearted, and she's going like, bye, I got a new man. I'm good to go. I don't think she's a good person in the sense that she doesn't think about other people's feelings. Like at all, maybe. And she's very about herself, which in a relationship, that that is going to be very hard to deal with. And I don't know if she has what it takes to have a very long-term relationship.
I don't know. She's got, I mean, what this looks like just from hearing Blake, and we had speculated about it, but what it looks like just from hearing from Blake is that she had checked out of that relationship a while ago, and she and John have been low-key dating, whether it was official or not. You're still dating, going on pilot plane rides and sending her flowers and all of that stuff. Like, that's your low-key dating. So whether something physical happened or not, that it was an emotional infidelity. And a lot of people, I mean, depending on your view on things, that's worse.
Cheating.
And it's worse than you just finding some hot girl at the bar, or you're lonely because your boyfriend's across state lines, or in this case, international lines, and you get drunk and you sleep with the guy once. Okay. Physicality is physicality. Yes, it's cheating. A lot of people can be like, well, that's just sex. It's cool. But emotional connection, that is so different. That's somebody that, you know, you've told me all these secrets and things about your lives and about your life. And now you're sharing this with somebody else.
Like, you're getting the deep parts that, like, like, you know, when you go home, this is what should happen. You should tell your partner how your day was, all the stuff you experienced. But I feel like she was just going and telling John, oh, this sucks about Blake, this and that. Oh, but you know, you are such a good person for listening to me. You're so kind. We're going to get to hang out and all this. It just, I'm not okay with how she did all of this. It's fine that you have a man, whatever, but this just seems way too soon.
It's so
to have it blasted out to the world.
And it's the way she did it was so petty. It was just a really petty way to do it.
Why did you have to do 12 days of messy?
Yeah, why couldn't you just come out and post that adorable video? I mean, because the video itself is cute as crap.
Like, I have to say, it's like freaking. I would love to do something like that. Right? This cute
just
little
drop that and let people speculate from there. But you did this on purpose so that, and it's working because here we are talking about her. And then now, and John responded yesterday with this big long, okay, child, shush. His letter is so long. And it just is like, a lot of it, I read it and it was like, you should have sent this to Blake. Just throwing that out there.
Yes. So this is his letter was posted on Reddit. It's a weird place to post it, in my opinion.
Yeah, right? Like, you could have done it on your Instagram or whatever. Reddit, sure. Solid choice, guys. Solid.
Yeah. A letter from John Hersey in brackets. Yeah. John Hersey here. This is the first and likely only time I will ever address you all, the Bachelor sub, directly. So let me take this opportunity to first thank you all for the support, the laughs, love, and undeniable outspoken personalities that I have had the wonderful pleasure of being exposed to while here. You guys are fun, and for most of the time. I'm sure there's no question why I've chosen this moment to speak up. This has been a wild couple of days, to say the least. I'm also in favor of everyone having their own opinion, voicing that opinion, and hell, arguing and yelling about that opinion. What hurts me, however, is watching so many of you build assumptions and throw around accusations based on very limited knowledge of a situation. I cannot and do not blame anyone for this because it's the nature of the private situation to be clear only to those closest to it. However, I do intend to share some insights that will hopefully allow you to better understand me, Katie, and our relationship. If it's private, just keep it private then. Suggestion there.
That's right. People who can't keep their drama business private really just I gotta go tell everybody this, even if we're not friends, even if I barely know you on social media. I'm gonna tell everything about my private business.
Yep.
No.
Yep. Yep. Nope. I know, BB. Nice try, John.
Yeah, we're not buying it, child. We ain't buying it. Try again.
So Katie and I developed an incredible and deep friendship over the last half a year or so. The circumstances by which this friendship formed was a series of crazy, random, and coincidental events that I'm sure you will all hear about at a later time. My point for now is that we are always platonic. Even during my short stint on the season, we never had a chance to foster anything romantic. Read as John blew his chances and left the next day. The boundaries of our friendship with respect to her ongoing relationship never even required addressing because it was never a thought in our minds that we would ever be anything more. You guys, she was engaged. It was apparent that many of you misjudge how both her and I view that commitment. Neither Katie nor I would ever cheat, push someone to cheat, or be involved in cheating. It is not in our nature. It is not acceptable. It is not okay. On second thought, maybe this message deserves its own paragraph. There was no wrongdoing prior to the end of their engagement. This is where the argument physical versus emotional cheating.
Yeah. And well, and friends too, like you don't want your girl to not have friends, but at the same time, you as a single man are only hanging out with her and maybe a couple of other girls. I didn't see any other men in that pilot seat.
Nope.
Except for Blake. I didn't see any other. It wasn't like there was 30 bachelor people in all the videos she posted and all the photos you've posted. Maybe once or twice there was like a press conference. But at all of that, it was either her and some other girl or her.
Yeah. Phil, I agree. Sounds like a lot of BS.
It sounds like we're trying to
get y'all to love
the best
us
out of a situation, which, and no, of course we're all going to assume because nobody will come out and be like, look, yep, this is what happened. Yeah. So yeah, everybody's going to make assumptions and the timeline doesn't fit.
No.
Sorry.
No.
Just like with all of my true crime podcasts, the timeline doesn't fit.
So, and that's the funny part. So in the 2 weeks before 12 Days of Messy ended, y'all started a relationship and committed to each other.
In 2 weeks? Okay.
What?
I realize bachelor people move fast, but I mean, I'm not buying that one.
Actually, if this was bachelor time, they should have been engaged by now.
Well, yeah. Oh, I give that Christmas. I'm calling it now, Christmas.
Oh, maybe. Who knows? Furthermore, I understand that the timeline seems fast and messy, but I urge you to put yourselves in our shoes. Once Katie and I realized there was a romantic connection that we were interested in exploring, we were not starting from scratch. We were building off the foundation of a close friendship through which we had already gotten to know each other so well. The speed of which I fell for this incredible, nurturing, and genuinely kind human being was honestly terrifying. I was scared, but every step of the way felt right. We knew that the only difficult part would be the optics of it all. No, duh. And that's a poopy thing. Worrying about how a natural and organic connection will be viewed by hundreds and thousands of people. When was the last time you had to think about that when you fell for a partner? Because this is sure as hell. Oh, I'm trying to get to the next. There we go. The first time for me. And I mean, so when I date someone, and I don't know about you guys, but when you date, you get to know each other, you slowly commit to each other, and then you slowly start telling your friends and family. Mm-hmm. That was so quick. Like, had you told your family yet and said, this is my new boyfriend? Ooh, like, imagine.
Well, and the other thing, too, is Blake had never even met her parents. He
no!
on the podcast, too. I was like, you were in San Diego for like 2 weeks and you never met her parents?
Yeah, he only met Aunt Lindsay and she's freaking scary.
What the heck? Dude. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think she ever, honestly, I think she said yes to Blake by default. Now that I'm looking at it.
Well, she had Greg leave and Michael A. I think she actually thought she was getting married to Greg, to be honest.
Greg said, nope. I saw that red flag. Bye.
Yeah. Yeah, it really makes me think because now it's like, because we think Thomas, who she sent off, said that his bachelor audition is done. When he went on to Paradise, he fell in love with Becca Kufrin, who is like the belle of Bachelor, Bachelorette, like under maybe Caitlyn, who everyone loves. Like, there's no one that I know that does not like Becca.
Yeah, we adore Becca. Becca's great.
Yeah. And they fell for each other. And I mean, Thomas was part of the 12 Days of Messy, and now Becca doesn't like Katie.
Yeah, they both unfollowed her, which for good reason. Like, dang. And Thomas, the Thomas we saw on Paradise was completely different than the Thomas we saw on her season. And then so that makes me wonder which of these guys are even the actual bad guy. Like, you know, people jumped down Greg's throat for when he ended things with her and the way he did it. And I think, like, at the time, you're like, yeah, he gaslit her and he didn't treat her right, blah, blah. But now that I'm thinking about it, was he really the bad guy there? I don't know.
Now I need to watch that breakup again. Yes.
Parents, nope.
Best to introduce your boyfriend, girlfriend to the family before announcing on the internet you're dating. I
Yeah.
think so too. I don't know if they did or not. Like it's wild to me, and
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that quick of a relationship, I don't know,
yeah.
Hokies engaged and did not meet the parents. So they were supposed to he was
For
supposed to meet them, but her
Thanksgiving.
season, yeah. Well, then her season ended so weirdly. Her season ended abruptly that they didn't get a chance to do that either. But usually, right, they meet both sides of the parents. I'm pretty sure.
Usually on the show they do, but I think
Yeah,
because of the pandemic and how things
yeah,
kind of just were for them, that it's just the way it was. And unfortunately, like Blake's family come down? I
yeah.
think they
Both family
did.
came down. Yeah,
Yeah,
his parents were there.
but
But
only
hers,
her.
for whatever reason, couldn't get there, so they didn't meet on the show. And her season ended so abruptly. I mean, Blake was literally the only one left, basically, and so it just didn't work. And so, but my whole thing is like you would think that because you didn't get that time on the show like you were supposed to, that she, at the very minimum, would have been like, okay, it's time to meet my mom and dad. Like maybe I'll bring them up with me to Canada when we go, or whatever. I don't know. He was down there for 2 weeks, and
Yeah,
like how.
I don't know.
I don't understand.
I don't
And then
know.
he was supposed to come to her house and meet the family for Thanksgiving, and
But
instead
obviously that
John was
didn't
there.
happen. That did not happen.
No.
And then lastly, and most importantly, I want to apologize to those of whom have felt emotionally triggered by how our actions have been perceived. It deeply saddens me to think that my and Katie's relationship could have been a major source of anxiety for anyone. As I mentioned before, cheating in any form is unacceptable, and I'm sorry if it looked as though either of us were taking advantage of anyone's trust. I have tried to respond directly to those individuals that were affected, but I know that I don't have the capability of finding absolutely everyone. So I hope this message finds you well. I appreciate you all taking your time, taking time from your day to read this message. It is not meant to be delivered from atop a soapbox. It is an honest conversation from me to you. I hope you are all having a wonderful season. I can't wait to be sent more ridiculous SpongeBob memes and John Who comments. Keep being real. Much love. Week 2 guy, John. Ugh.
Also, why are you getting triggered over somebody else cheating?
Well, I mean,
That's a whole different topic.
I gotta say, Bachelor Nation's crazy in a good
Yeah.
way, like very obsessed, and that's fine.
Triggered.
But like, I guess it's more of a 2020 type of thing to be triggered by anything and everything.
Look, cheating happens.
But
Okay, we get drunk and we cry about it and we work through our issues and we move on. So we don't get triggered when other people do it. Like what?
yeah,
It's a whole different conversation.
it's just a way of life, and that people do it, and you just move on from it. And unfortunately, the fact that he has to put this in a letter, I find is like, meh.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
It is so
Kinda
weird.
weird.
But John Who is what we're
That
gonna
was
be
my
doing in a
reaction.
year.
I was like, who the heck is John?
I saw him and I was like, I don't even remember him. I don't even remember him.
Still didn't recognize him. It wasn't until I watched her full Instagram story that where she put it on, I was like, oh yeah. And still I was like, didn't he go home like day 2?
Yeah, pretty much day 2.
Oh,
Was she drunk
God.
while typing this? I have no idea. I wish
No, he might have been. I don't know.
he might have been. Anyways, I can show you pictures of John, and you can see what he looks like.
I love this. We are keeping our private information private, but here I want attention to show the world. Yeah, that's the whole thing is like, and that was Blake's point is like, we talked about it. We put out that statement that, we're privately going through whatever it is we're going to go through. We ask that you respect our privacy. And here she is doing 12 days of messy. He was like, the whole thing was just disrespectful. And I was like, oh,
And he wasn't going to say it. If he was not going to say it out loud or to the public. And then she had to go and do this and basically disrespect him even more.
And he's been on several podcasts and interviews where since the breakup, where just like the conversation naturally was like, so
yeah,
Katie, what's the tea? And he refused to badmouth her at all. He never badmouthed her once.
It was like that podcast that we heard all the tea about Katie's relationship. The first hour was like about his Africa stuff, his favorite animals. Katie and him had a mutual breakup. We didn't work. He was saying how he wasn't good about certain things and he was trying to work on it, and that we just had to part ways. He was so freaking respectful.
The meanest thing he said about her was that he called her disrespectful for this whole 12 days of messy. And That's not even mean.
I think that's pretty normal.
I think we all can agree on that. And meanwhile, she's over here dropping Taylor Swift songs about him, like number what? Like, dang, calm down, lady.
Really opening up. But yeah, this is John Hersey. September 2nd, internet rumors led me to this guy becoming a dear friend.
Yeah, internet rumors. Yeah, the internet knows. The internet always knows. The internet knew back in freaking July.
Yeah. Like,
you can't fool us, bruh.
I feel so bad. Somehow we all knew. Somehow we all freaking knew.
The summary of this stream is Blake deserved better, and I volunteer as tribute.
Can we ship Tuggs and Blake? Can we get a GoFundMe to send Tuggs to Canada?
I want to go play with the turtle. Like,
actually, can you go on a safari with him?
No, there is this place in Africa that is a safari like lodge. Oh my god, I follow them on Instagram. It's my dream to stay there. It's the middle of the freaking savannah, and their pool is like, it's a non-chlorine pool because they have to have it that way because the elephants come and they drink out of the pool while you're in it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, they're all in like this preserve, like they're not trained.
That looks that sounds so cool. That sounds so
And they take you out on safari rides, you have champagne. I want to go so bad.
I'm down for the champagne. Yeah, so that I feel like we had to address it because poor Blake with the
Team Blake
podcast and letting out his side of the story, and I feel like it's not something that people hear pretty out there because not everyone listens to podcasts. And I mean, did we miss anything in that article with all the
we hit it all.
We hit it all. Jim asks.
Yeah, it weighs 200 pounds. You want it?
It works still. It
does. This is it. Yeah. And my Blu-ray player downstairs took a crap. So I have the DVD player up here and that's still working. You know, new technology, not always the best. Just
yes. Okay, so we do have a donation from Tara Crystal for $3. Says, always enjoy your show, ladies. Have fun and keep up the great work. Thank you. Impromptu streams, love that. Love those.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to talk about it as soon as I heard it, and I was like, we need to get on top. I cannot wait for Wednesday for this. Not wait for Wednesday. And I mean, we now know who the villain of the season was. Sorry, Katie.
Katie was the villain of her own season. And that is where I'm going to leave it. Katie was the villain of her own season. End stream. Done.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. So we do have our fast stream tonight. 9 p.m. If you haven't, our links are in the chat. Follow us.
Jay, are you still here? Are you playing with us? You better be. Everybody missed you.
Yes, I didn't get to play with Jay, so also
you have to go back
out loud. Play with the girls and Jay. Also, that sounds weird too. Dang it. So yeah, follow us. We will be on Twitch 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, and then it was good. Hope you guys enjoyed the tea. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.